As the year of 2024 comes to an end, I think it's a good idea to look back on the movies that came out this year, the good and the bad. The strikes definitely had a major impact on this year's films, as many of the heavy hitters got pushed back to 2025. However, I still think this year was great and I'm excited to talk about it. I will be only looking at theatrically released movies, so Netflix films like Damsel won't count. So, with all that said, let's get into it. In dead last, we have Kraven the Hunter. This is just comically bad. The effects are horrendous, like Flash Season 7 level. The acting is just awful, besides the leads, with the side characters coming off as unprofessional. It is a ridiculous embarrassment. I did really like Fred Hetching as Chameleon, but he wasn't the main villain. Nope, that would be the ridiculous looking Rhino. This film is just awful, 4 out of 10. It was a real toss-up between the bottom two movies, but I think Madam Web is just barely better. I really like the bond between the young girls, and the memes are iconic. It mainly falls flat with Dakota Johnson, the comical villain, and the laughable ADR. It does have better visuals than No Way Home, though. I wouldn't watch this again, 5 out of 10. Next up in 27th is Despicable Me 4. I just found this movie so unexciting. The minions got annoying, and whilst I liked some of the stuff of kids trying to fit in, it got sidelined in favor of a Joey King heist subplot and a weird villain who was a great sidekick voiced by Sofia Vergara. 5.5 out of 10. Then in 26th place, Borderlands. This film was a huge flop, box office and critics-wise, and yeah, I see why. It's extremely silly, goofy, and basic. It's the same Jumanji-type film you've seen a billion times, with some truly horrendous dialogue. Ariana Greenblatt was a lot of fun, as was Cate Blanchett. Also 5.5. Now in 25th place, we have Red One, the only Christmas film on the list. But it plays more like a Netflix spy film than a holiday classic. Dwayne Johnson plays Hobbs and Black Adam here, but Chris Evans plays a heartfelt crook, who I was rooting for. It's a bit too silly, especially Kiernan Shipka's campy witch, but it's not awful. Probably should have stayed on Prime Video. 6 out of 10. Then I have Tarot coming in at 24th. This is a pretty fun horror movie with a stacked cast of up-and-comers. Avantika and Jacob Batalon were the standouts, and some of the scares are creative, but it's held back by some really basic leads. 6.5 out of 10. Then we have Moana 2 in 23rd place. Honestly, I really like the plot and some of the songs. Not the Chihu song, but I liked Beyond and Get Lost. However, it had quite choppy editing, which was likely because of the fact it was supposed to be a Disney Plus show. Yeah, it's pretty mid, 6.5 out of 10. Next up is Bob Marley, One Love in 22nd place. I thought this was a heartfelt biopic that showed how big of an impact he had. However, it was a bit too short, so the film felt underdeveloped. 6.5 out of 10. Now we have the Mean Girls musical reboot movie in 21st place. I thought some of the songs were good and most of the cast was great, but Katie was just so bad it brought it all down. They made the songs less theatrical and changed the lines unnecessarily. They turned a movie that was originally an iconic fashion film to a Shein and Elf ad. I did like the social media commentary. 7 out of 10. Next, kicking off the top 20 is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I actually really enjoyed this movie. McKenna Grace was fantastic, and I enjoyed her relationship with that ghost girl played by Emily Allen Lind. The rest of the film is just average, but not bad at all. 7 out of 10. Next up in 19th place is If. This was a pretty good family movie that has lots of heart and laughs. The friendships and family relationships are super cute, and I thought the actors all did good. 7 out of 10 as well. In 18th, we have Beetlejuice. This was a lot of fun in the spooky season, and had a pretty awesome plot with the ghost boy. Winona, Catherine, and Michael slip back into their roles easily, but it's just a bit too goofy and a lot of the humor does not land. 7 out of 10. Then in 17th, we have Venom: The Last Dance. This was a fun action film with a lot of heart and goofy fun, but it completely wastes the character of Null and doesn't have enough substance to be higher. 7.5 out of 10. In 16th, I have Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. This was also quite a fun movie. I really liked the world building of the Kong Kingdom, but the human characters felt a bit unnecessary and Godzilla was barely in it. 7.5 out of 10. In 15th, the middle of my film list, we have Joker: Folie à Deux. This film wasn't nearly as bad as people said it was. I found the character exploration of Arthur Fleck quite interesting, and the musical sequences were surprisingly great. Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix were fantastic in their roles, and overall, the plot was good. It's just a bit of a downer. 8 out of 10. Next up in 14th is Abigail. This film was a lot of fun to watch on Halloween with all my friends. It was scary enough, but also super funny. Alicia Ware is so perfectly cast here, and Melissa Barrera is definitely our new Scream Queen. Catherine Newton and Angus Cloud are both hilarious, and Dan Stevens was fun to hate. Definitely worth a watch. 8 out of 10 as well. In 13th place, we have Sonic the Hedgehog 3. This was a very fun and emotional movie. The action was great, it had tons of fan service, and Shadow was so cool. Both the Maria and Robotnik storylines brought a tear to my dad's eye. Though he did cry in the Emoji movie, so it doesn't mean much. 8.2 out of 10. In 12th place, we have another new movie, Mufasa: The Lion King. I was expecting to hate this movie, so I was shocked when I discovered it's kind of fantastic. The songs are obviously not as good as the original, but some of them are pretty great. I liked the storyline and the third act was super well done. The CGI animals are a bit of a turn-off, but I really did not mind while I was watching. 8.4 out of 10. In 11th place, just short of the top 10, is Twisters. I thought all the tornadoes were super cool, and Glenn Powell is super fun. I really enjoyed the opening scene and Daisy Edgar Jones's performance. Yeah, pretty good movie. 8.4 out of 10. Kicking off the top 10, we have The Fall Guy. This was just an absolute blast. Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt give top-notch comedic performances. This is easily one of the funniest movies of the year, with great Hollywood commentary. It is also super action-packed with fantastic fight choreography. 8.7 out of 10. In 9th, I have Immaculate. This was an insane film. Sydney Sweeney gave such an amazing performance in the lead role and goes completely feral in the third act that is super thrilling. It had great religious commentary and a really likable supporting cast. 8.9 out of 10. In 8th place, I have Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I really enjoyed the story's adventure and themes of false worship. The ape CGI was exquisite and expressive. 8.9 out of 10. In 7th, I have It Ends With Us. Despite all the drama, I thought this was an excellent movie. It was emotional, romantic, and had excellent themes and acting. Overall, an amazing film, and I kind of want to watch it again. 9 out of 10. In 6, I have Inside Out 2. I just found this film so charming. Anxiety was really realistic and heartwarming, and I found Riley's journey super relatable. Joy leveled up into a more emotionally complex character, which I really appreciated. 9.1 out of 10. Now entering the top 5, we have A Quiet Place Day 1. This was an excellent movie. It was thrilling, emotional, and scary. Lupita and Joseph were so likable. I really was invested in their character journeys, especially Lupita's, whose character was so heartbreaking. Just an excellent film. 9.3 out of 10. In 4th place, I have Challenges. What a fun movie. The 3 leads are also charismatic. The tennis scenes were engaging and fresh. It had so much drama and nuance and prestige. I just think it's absolutely legendary. 9.4 out of 10. Now for my top 3 movies of the year. We have Dune Part 2 in 3rd place. I mean, do I need to say anything? This is one of the most stunning films I've ever seen. They made a desert visually interesting. All the performances are top tier, particularly Timothée Chalamet and Austin Butler, and the story is really engaging in showing the rise of Paul Atreides. 9.5 out of 10. My runner-up film of the year is Deadpool and Wolverine. This movie was just a blast. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman gave their all into making this film great. It is funny, heartwarming, action-packed. It is so meta in an interesting way and has cameos that are meaningful and not just nostalgia bait. This and Agatha All Along saved the MCU. 9.5 out of 10. Now, the moment you have all been waiting for, my number 1 film of the year is, drumroll please, Wicked! That's right, Wicked is my number 1 film of the year. This was a near perfect movie. Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande are so perfectly cast as Elphaba and Glinda. They give emotionally complex performances that make this film such an experience. The musical numbers are full spectacles, complete with top-notch singing and dancing. This is 100% my film of the year. 9.7 out of 10. That was my ranking of the films I've seen this year. Leave your rankings down below. I hope you enjoyed this video and stay tuned for more videos like this coming in 2025. Happy New Year, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.